So there was a time, there were many accidents that we just missed. There were many accidents. Teja would have died.
In fact, I heard you took advice from SS Rajamouli sir also, right?
Yeah. I'm more like a Ekalavi Shiksha for him. I used to hate him at that time. Spent a lot of time waiting for a couple of stars. I wasted a lot of my time. Hi, I'm Prasanth Varma, director of the film Hanu Man. I spoke my heart out with Mr. Siddharth Kannan. Please do subscribe to his channel. Thank you.
When you have the blessings of Hanumanji, you know everything is going to fall into place and you will get the blessings of the forces from above and people around you. Prasanth,
Sir.
Big victory.
Yes, sir.
You know, tell me from day one, when you set out to make the film, did you know from within that this is going to be as big as it gets? Was there always that feeling inside?
In terms of the quality of the film and also in terms of the reception, definitely yes. We always had this feeling people will love it. But numbers, we never thought of it. You know, that was never in our head. So the only thing that we were thinking was people will definitely love this film, and whatever we are feeling while we are watching it in different stages of the film, I'm sure audience are going to feel 10 times more when they watch it in theatre.
You've always said that you felt a divine connection while filming this film, right?
Yes.
You felt there was divinity around you. Was there any incident that happened around you that you felt, yes, the divine forces are around me?
Sir, after my previous film's success, it was a pretty good hit in Telugu. Then I was clueless what to do next. During that time, there were many people. I used to go to Hanuman temple a lot when I was a kid. So before every exam, I used to go to Hanuman.
Same here, man. You know, so whether I studied or not, I used to go to Lucknow, a temple where you know Hanumanji used to be. I say, Hanumanji, bacha do yaar, bacha do. And I used to pass despite not studying too much.
I was very studious, but still I used to go. It's become a tradition to go to temple, even right from my schooling. In my intermediate, even in my engineering, I used to go to Hanumanji's temple before every exam. Irrespective of whether how well I was prepared for that exam, I used to go. But you know, after engineering, I got very busy with films. Slowly, you know, I stopped going to Hanuman Mandir that frequently. Like, you know, I used to go, but not that frequently. Then, just before I decided to make this film, there were multiple people who used to randomly come to me and talk to me about Hanumanji. They used to tell Prasanth, I think you should go to temple a lot, and Prasanth, you should say Hanumanji's shlokam every time. It used to be very random, like, you know, it was nothing. I didn't even make all this connection until I started making this film. So I thought it was very random, and then when I finally thought, okay, let's do a superhero film. And I think all these things have, you know, they put something in my head, back of my mind, that, you know, I should make this film about Hanumanji. So I thought it was my choice, I thought it was my decision, but I didn't realize it after a point when the teaser was released and teaser has made so much noise. I thought it was all me. I thought it was, you know, my technical excellence that, you know, created all this. But then one person scolded me. One person told me, Prasanth, do you think it is all you? No, I think Hanumanji is making you, you know, do this film for him. And then I started connecting dots. Like, then, you know, suddenly you get continuously, or everybody's praising you, and suddenly one person comes and tells you, this is not you. It's not you, but, you know, it is some divine force that has done this. So that's when I started making all the connections, you know, why I started this film, why it should be only about Hanumanji. So I think it was meant to be, like, you know, and then after we started shooting the film, it was quite risky film. Like, you know, we were shooting in forests, we were shooting in places that were little difficult to go. So there was a time, there were many accidents that we just missed. There were many accidents. We would have, Teja would have died, the heroine would have died in those situations. There was a snake when we were shooting in a forest. If you remember the film, there was a scene where Teja is running away from a tiger. He just jumps and he'll be hiding near a rock. So while I was shooting that scene, there was a snake here. So it almost bit Teja. It is right here. If it had bit him here, he would have been gone.
You would have gone.
Yeah. But nothing happened. We were shooting there for almost like 10-15 minutes. I didn't even see it. It was black in color, and we call it Nallatrachu in Telugu. So it was very poisonous. But nothing had happened. We shot. We realized it was there. Teja didn't move. We were just, everybody was frozen, and it just silently went off. And we continued shooting. So many instances like this has happened where Teja escaped in a very last minute. So we thought, though my name is written as directed by in the credits, but I think Hanumanji is the real director of the film.
He's the director of our lives too.
Yes. Yes.
For sure. He's made the bigger picture of the entire world with all of us
Absolutely, yes,
in
sir.
it, right?
Yes, sir.
When you think of Hanumanji and you think of a film like this, the first thing that comes is big budget, working on a scale which is unbelievable, mammoth, grand. You started with 12 crores.
Right.
You finished the project in 50 crores because...
Less than 50 actually, much less than 50, yeah.
How much would that be if you don't mind me
40,
asking?
around 40. Yeah.
40 crores.
Yeah.
You started getting help when people saw the teaser, right?
Yeah.
At that time, when you're making a film on Hanumanji, the expectations are scale should be like this, props should be like this, decor should be like this.
Yeah.
Did you feel somewhere that with that little kind of money to make a film like this, it might fall flat on your face because you were thinking big, but you didn't have the funds which were big?
Definitely, yes. There was definitely a point when the expectations on the film were rising a lot. Initially, the film was not supposed to be a VFX heavy film, high budget, action, spectacle and all that. The idea was to tell this story about this guy who is blessed with Hanumanji's powers and who just fights for his village. That's it. So that's the strong, that's the simple story that we wanted to tell. So then, after the teaser, the expectations went skyrocketed, and people were expecting a lot of VFX from the film. So we thought, okay, these are the scenes that we thought we'll just do it simply, but let's just add a little bit more VFX. So it was a very conscious segregation of the budget, the money. So okay, we should spend more on the final Hanumanji sequence. So these shots, we cannot afford it. So can we just do it in our office itself? Can I just do it in my PC? So there were few shots you don't even believe we just did it in AI.
Yeah?
Yeah. So if you pause it and see, that it's just an AI shot. So we kind of managed, there were multiple ways where we could do the film in less budget. So I was continuously Googling how can we do a VFX heavy film in a less budget. So I was trying to find ways where we can avoid, maneuver ourselves through the story without making it. There were few shots, no matter how much we tried, we couldn't get the VFX right. If you've seen the trailer, there was a cheetah chase sequence, but that's not there in the film because we couldn't get it right. No matter how much we tried, we needed more time or we needed more money. We didn't have both. So we thought, let's just chuck the scene out of the film. So like that, there were compromises for sure. But the scenes that really matter, the Hanumanji's shots and all, that's where we spend all our monies in. So yeah, that's how we managed to make this film this spectacle it is today.
When you make a film on gods, there's a huge responsibility, right?
Yeah.
You have to make sure everything as per the scriptures. And I know you've studied the scriptures in your Gurukul as well.
Yes,
you've lived the scriptures since childhood.
Right.
You breathed it.
Right.
But it's a responsibility.
Absolutely.
Because any one thing goes wrong, you know, people are going to get hurt.
Right.
Their religious sentiments are going to get hurt. Was there pressure on you for that?
No, sir, because if anybody gets hurt, that will be me first. I will get hurt first if something goes wrong. So I will definitely make sure all the team who is working in the film will represent Hanumanji in the most sacred form, in most authentic form. And we always continuously are in touch with some scholars in this regard. So there are people like Shivshakti Datta sir. So he is the brother of Rajamouli sir's father. So there are people like that who we used to continuously go show them this is how we are doing it. Are we doing it right? Is there something that you can add? So he wrote many lyrics in the film. So if you've seen the title sequence, so he wrote that sequence. So he used to give us a little bit of ideas. So you can do it like this, you can do it like that. So we used to take inputs from many people to make this film happen.
In fact, I heard you took advice from SS Rajamouli
Yes,
sir
sir.
also, right?
Yeah.
Is he like an elder brother to you? Is he like family to you? And how was that bond where, you know, you reached out to him or he found out what you were doing and he said, you know what, Prasanth, I'm going to be there for you. What was it?
I'm more like an Ekalavya Shiksha for him because I try to work for him. Like, you know, when I was doing my engineering, I was desperately trying to reach out to him to join as his assistant director, but I could not get the chance. So I used to put emails, I used to put Twitter, used to reach out to him on Twitter, sir, can I be your AD, can I be your AD? So he used to be so sweet telling me that no, my team is already full. I used to hate him at that time, you know, I used to be like, why can he not take me, you know, I'm so talented, work so hard, you know, why is he not taking me? But only until I became a director, only until I have enough ADs already and I cannot take more people in. So that's when I realized what he must have been going through. So until then I used to hate him. I used to hate him because, like, you know, he didn't take me as his assistant director. But then at the same time, it was almost like the Ekalavya story. Like, you know, Dronacharya cannot take him as his disciple. So he learns on his own, you know, he watches all the things from, you know, distance and learns on his own, right? So that's how, you know, I made sure I used to learn everything by watching his films, you know, watching his making videos, how he does stuff. So yeah, that's the relation that I have with him, sir.
But now that is obviously observing him.
Yeah.
But now have you become close to him? Did he reach out to you after Hanu Man? What was it?
After the teaser got released, I met him in a event. It was another film's pre-release event or something. So that's when I went to say namaste, and, you know, that's when he said, I saw the teaser, it's looking pretty good. You got an opportunity to become something that it took me 20 years to create what you did, you know, like that particular teaser has given enough hype in media that, you know, that I spent 20 years to do. So that is, you have to be very responsible, make sure you don't blow this. So I said, sir, I might actually blow it. I don't know how to not blow it. Can I meet you? Can I get your appointment? So that's when he said, okay, you come to my office. So that's when I got in touch with his team and I went and met him. So then he was very, asked him, sir, how can I get this VFX done? So do you suggest me a VFX company that is good? So then he said, Prasanth, I worked with some people, but they will not be in the same company now. I can suggest you a company, but they will keep moving. So there's no point me suggesting. So he suggested few things, like, you know, one thing that he suggested is to add a layer of environment in the shots. For example, let's say it's an action sequence, add dust. If it is some place where you can have fire there, add smoke. So that layer will cover up your VFX mistakes. Okay, so, and don't make it very bright when the scene is happening. So keep it little dark so that you can get away with few things. So inputs like this really helped while doing the VFX shots of this film.
I've been a big fan of South Indian films.
Okay.
Primarily also because I'm a South Indian.
Okay.
But big fan, right? But now do you think across India, Telugu film industry especially, it's getting the importance that it was always deserving of, right? You see Pushpa, Allu Arjun, you see RRR, Junior NTR, Ram Charan, you're hearing so much about Nani, Rana coming onto OTT as well, Prabhas, Bahubali, Rana Bahubali. Do you think this actually came in quite late, the respect and adulation they're getting across pan-India, which should have happened quite a few years back?
Absolutely, yes, sir. There were some amazing films in Telugu. I think there are films that are much better than the films that you mentioned right now. There were films that were so good.
I've been told this too before, yes.
Yeah, but I think, I completely agree with you, but the wave, whatever you call it, the sudden admiration has come now. But I think there were some amazing films. If it would have gotten little earlier, I think the North audience would have enjoyed much better Telugu cinema by now. Yeah.
Is an Allu Arjun, Ram Charan, all the actors that I named, Junior NTR, Rana, have you ever approached them to work? Because I have been told, you don't wait for big stars. You get your project, you shift from your genres, you surprise yourself. Whether a big star is in it or not, it doesn't concern you at all. Am I true in what I've observed?
Sir, I'm not against working with stars. I usually have deadlines. So even for anything in my life, I approach someone. Then, usually with stars, it takes time. I spent a lot of time waiting for a couple of stars. I've wasted a lot of my time. So after that, I've decided, okay, let's just have deadline. So after this deadline, even if Tom Cruise comes to me, I should just go ahead with whoever I have. So like that, there were times when, I've approached all the actors that you just mentioned. So they like my work, they've seen my work, but everybody's busy with other stuff. So I came into the industry to tell stories. I didn't come into the industry to work with stars. So I would like to work with stars so that they can, most importantly, they are very good actors who can tell the story in the most effective way, at the same time to make the story reach more audience, not to make money. So that is never the intention. But if waiting forever is stopping me from telling the stories that I came into the industry for, I would rather not go there. So that is the reason, every time I wait, I have a deadline of 1 month, 2 months. So after the 2 months, I just start my film with whoever I can, cast. But I will make sure I cast good actors. So acting is something that I cannot teach. So I will work with. If you look at Teja, Teja is basically a very good actor. Forget about the stardom and all that. I cast good actors in my films.
So you basically, all these actors that I named, you approached them at one time, but obviously they were busy with commitments.
Correct.
And you waited.
Right.
But what happens there? Do they openly tell you that, listen, they're going to work? Or do they avoid you subtly with a message or saying, I'm busy?
Yeah.
How do they say no to you? Do they say it upfront? What happens? I want to understand that process too.
No, many of them will not say upfront because they don't want to hurt the other person. Initially, when I was in the beginning of days of my career, I used to not get it. When somebody is not answering, one day he will listen to your story and he will say, this is the best thing that he has ever listened in his life, and second day he will not answer your call. So I used to not get it. I used to be very confused. But over the time, I've also realized I started looking at the industry from their point of view. So what all they go through, how confused they will be. So I slowly try to understand their perspective, and then I used to after the first few days, you kind of get that feeling, okay, he's interested, but probably he's not sure about how I will shoot the film. So some people will be like, he is interested, but I think he is waiting for that other director to come and narrate him the story. So you slowly get that, and you have to understand, yeah.
So you said initially you didn't understand that.
I was
right?
very confused.
You were confused. Would that hurt you? Saying that all these A-list stars, they are big in what they do. You know that moment that film comes out, you're going to get an opening. If you have an Allu Arjun, Ram, Junior, Rana, Prabhas, it's going to explode day one.
Absolutely.
And you are waiting,
Yes.
but you don't know what's happening. Was that frustrating?
Definitely yes. Initially, you will not look at it from their point of view, right? Initially, as a young filmmaker, you think, okay, I'll come into the industry and I'll pitch the story to Hrithik Roshan sir and he will do it. Because my story is good. But it's not like that. So even they will have their reservations because it's not easy to, I think doing this film is easier than working with a star. On a very simple film.
Yeah.
Because we have to look at their image. The audiences will have an expectation. The fans will have an expectation. The fans will tell you on your Twitter what all needs to be there in your film. So the fans will tell you, you are working with my star, so you make sure there will be an item song. You make sure there will be like this. You make sure this. So they'll give you a list of things that has to be there in your film. So making commercial cinema, I'll never make fun of it. I think it's as difficult, even more difficult than making an experimental film like this.
We had Adi Purush here, which got a lot of flack for a lot of things which people felt did not match their sentiments or their expectations. And you are only getting compliments. And people actually putting in the comments saying that he's lived the scriptures, he's breathed the scriptures. When you knew what happened with Adi Purush, did you make notes and say, these are the things I have to make sure don't happen? Was that also a learning experience for you?
Not at all, sir. I think irrespective of whether that film happens or not, I would make this film the way it is already.
Yeah, sometimes you learn from other people's mistakes also, right?
Because those are the mistakes that I would never do, irrespective of that film. So that's not in me. That's not my style of filmmaking. That's not me as a person also. So that film didn't affect my process of filmmaking at all.
But you're saying basically those things that happened there, principally in any form, you would have made sure it doesn't even happen, right?
Never, yeah. I would never do that.
Because you're so spiritually inclined, and I can sense that here as well, right? I respect the fact that how you'll have the press conference on stage, you didn't even wear chappal, shoes, anything. And I value that because I'm extremely...
That happens very naturally, sir. It's not something that we do consciously. I think it happens quite naturally for us. Yeah.
I know, I can feel it. I've done interviews all my life.
Yeah.
I look young, but I've been doing this for 30 years, so I can sense it. I read people pretty well. Yeah. When you saw Adi Purush as a human being, forget as a director, did that hurt you saying, what's happening?
To be frank with you, sir, there was some sequences in the film that I thought wow, they're so good. I mean, I could have never done it this way. There were definitely, we should give that credit to the maker. And then definitely few sequences were I was really hurt with, I was like, I would have done it. Every filmmaker feels that. At the same time, as an audience also, I could not agree with many of the sequences in the film, but there were few scenes that were brilliant. Yeah.
Are you getting a barrage of calls from Bollywood stars saying, Prasanth, now I want to work with you, because they suddenly wake up, these so-called big stars here, they suddenly wake up, they see this talent who's fresh for us, you've done 2-3 films yourself. Are you getting that kind of teaser messages, someone calling via, one messenger coming, is it happening?
Yeah, it's happening.
It is happening.
It's happening.
Are you enjoying it?
Not really, I'm not someone who's, for a fact that, I already had a plan, irrespective of such a huge success, we already had a plan what to do immediately after Hanu Man. So, The problem is, I'll have to avoid so many people now. I'll have to excuse myself from so many people so that I can continue with the plan that we have already.
Is it going to be difficult now, Prasanth, who's a very, very simple gentleman that I know and I can sense, like I said that, to maintain his purity, because now this is a pan-India success.
Yeah.
With success comes corruption. When I say corruption does not mean anything under the table. You know, you start doing things in a certain way because you want to beat the box office yourself. Sometimes the success that you experience, is it scaring you too?
I'm, like I said, sir, definitely, day one itself, I could see where it is going. You know, you get that feeling that, you know, it will go really, it is going really, really big. So, even for the teaser, the first 1-2 hours were maddening. Like, you know, I knew that, you know, this is going places. So, then I immediately switched off my phone and went to play cricket.
So you got cut off from it,
I just
from the
cut off
films.
from all this because I know this is all very temporary. You know, this will happen for next couple of days, and then, you know, you'll have to go back and work on your film. So I was away from everything, all the fame and everything for a couple of days. I was playing cricket, I was enjoying my life, and then I got back, and when all this heat got settled down, I continued making that film. So similarly, even after all this, luckily, in fact, I got severe fever when the film got released. For 3 days, I couldn't take any calls or messages.
Fever happened because you were like, I can't believe this?
No. It happened naturally. Like, you know, I was not sleeping for last 1 week before the release because I was continuously checking the prints, you know, like making sure everything was going right. So I didn't have enough sleep. So just the day before the release, I had severe fever and I was on bed for the next 3 days. I was on bed. So I couldn't take many calls, and but now I'm trying to catch up and respond to many people. And
has any person from the Hindi film industry reached out to you?
Many people, sir. Many people have reached, and I'm
Congratulating you, asking for work.
both actually.
Success, I tell you.
Yeah, but they are very sweet, sir. I mean,
I'm
like
sure.
forget
You're a
about.
successful director, they're going to be very sweet.
Sir, I mean, like, this gives me an opportunity to tell more stories. So that's all I'm thinking. Like, initially we thought after Hanu Man, we will do one more film. But now that the film is such a huge hit, I can start 3-4 films at the same time, giving opportunity to more directors, more technicians.
Yeah, you're starting a cinematic universe in
Yes,
a
sir.
Khand Bharat,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
So which superhero is going to be next?
So the immediate one that will happen next is Adhira. So Adhira will be inspired by Lord Indra. So he will get the powers of Indra. And then we have a female-centric superhero film, which is very interesting, and it's very inspiring also. I think that film will become, you know, an iconic film for the women of India. You know, they will connect with this film, and they will want to wear the clothes, and that's a very challenging at the same time, very exciting project that I can't wait to start. And then Jai Hanu Man. Jai Hanu Man is also the main film that I will be working on. But all these
That's a sequel, right?
That's a sequel for Hanu Man, yes.
So now, since we all know there's a sequel, is the budget booster happened? Where the funds have come from all over the place. That must have already happened by now.
Yeah. There is unlimited budget offers. So, you know, they are like, don't even talk about budget. You know, you have unlimited budget to make this film. But again, like, you know, the film needs a lot of budget. The film is as big, it could be the biggest film of India, the way we envisioned it. But we don't want to waste the budgets on the remunerations, this and all that. We already have the script ready. We have the storyboard done. So we will do it one shot at a time. So we will not budget the film. We will just do it one shot at a time. We will see where it goes. But not like mentally prepared that let's just make this film with 1,000 crores. That's not the intention.
Yeah, just because you have the funds doesn't mean you just blow it up, right?
No. So we will do it. We will spend money what is needed for the film, what is needed for the story. That's all.
I follow social media. I'm crazy about social media. So it says, Hanuman kills the collections of animal. Did you read that or not? Have you read that?
Is it? I don't think so. I think Animal is way ahead.
No, but it says it's heading in that direction.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Because when word of mouth happens so strong, right?
Yeah.
People are saying it's going to head in that direction for sure.
Right.
Some people are saying it's going to be pre and post Animal era now. What are your views on Animal? Do you agree on it principally?
Animal is a brilliant film in one perspective, but if you compare it with Hanuman is more family-friendly film. So people have watched Animal multiple times, but they didn't watch it with their families and all that. Probably accidentally they did a few people, but on
that must have been a big accident.
very big accidents. But Hanuman is a film where you can go take your entire family and watch the film. Kids are loving it, and people who initially go to theater alone to watch the film to make sure whether this is kid friendly or not, or again going back and taking their families to the theater. And just to watch the climax 10 minutes, people are watching the film for 6 times, 8 times. And I've gotten many messages on my social media saying that I watched the film, I think my mom will love it, I'll take my mom. When was the last time that happened?
I'm taking my kids today. I've seen it once. I'm taking both my daughters.
Awesome.
It's the weekend. That's the first thing they've told me.
So awesome. So that's films like Animals should happen. At the same time, films like Hanuman should also happen.
But I tell you what, a lot of people are saying Animal should be viewed as an entertaining film. But a lot of people feel that people are fighting an ideological battle as well. So some people are saying, watch the film, enjoy it, go. If you're not supposed to watch it, don't watch it.
Right.
But a lot of people say, no, we take back things from a film as well. Do you agree to that?
I think people do take back things from films, but you cannot tell don't do it. Because even if you tell them
means here the filmmaker.
The audience. If as a filmmaker I make a film, and if I tell them don't take something away from the film, it's not in your hands. So audience will take. I will not say people will watch a film will get completely reformed by a film.
Or go into the negative zone after watching Animal, right? If they want to.
Not completely, but it will influence a little for sure. If you remember, most of the times, once you watch an influential film, a very impactful film, you will start walking like the actor.
Yes.
You will subconsciously, imitate the main lead of the film. So, the influence will be definitely there for sure. But at the same time, I will not say it will change a bad person into a good person and a good person into a bad person completely. But some influence will be definitely there. Yeah.
There was a big comment of Mahesh Babu's, and he says, I would only do Hindi films if I'm create a bomb. Right? I'm sure you must have heard that too, have you? Yeah?
I did.
But then suddenly your name props up with the fans of Mahesh Babu. What happened?
So basically, both the films got released on the same day. And Mahesh Babu sir is such a big star, nobody goes against him. Nobody even in their wildest dreams will want to release their film on the same day as Mahesh Babu sir, that too on Sankranti. So, and he's coming with Trivikram sir, which is again a mad combination. They have delivered one of the biggest films in Telugu cinema history before, twice. And the production house is also so big. It's like the biggest production house in Telugu. So they are like 3 big guys, and we are comparatively like 2 films old director and 3 films old director and pretty young actor and a new production house. So, but we were stuck because Anil Tadani sir has already confirmed our Hindi release here. So we could not move. So we wanted to move, but we were stuck here. So then we thought, okay, it's okay. Let's, for Sankranti, 2-3 films will work. It's not like you take either MPC or BIPC. People will watch both films.
Yeah, festival time.
Festival time. So people, there were times when 3 films got released. All 3 films were big hits. So we thought, okay, people will obviously go to that film as the first choice, but they will also watch my film. At the same time, I cannot risk losing out my Hindi audience, because this is the audience that I never thought will like my films, but suddenly after the teaser, audience from here are putting messages on my social media that we want to watch this film. So I want my film to reach as many people as possible.
I thought that Nani was going to back you up in or 2, right?
Yeah.
And then that didn't happen.
Nani always said the idea for me is to introduce as many people as possible. You have already become a director, so I don't want to I don't want to relaunch you again. You don't have to get relaunched. So instead, I would spend that money or like my time on launching more directors. So that is the reason I didn't take Auto with Nani sir. So I would individually do it at some point.
Last question.
Yeah.
Teja.
Yeah.
Right? You've done 2 films with him.
Yes, sir.
Are you like brothers? And what's that one thing both of you said to each other when this mammoth success happened? Was there silence between both of you? Did you have tears of joy? Did you get emotionally connected even more? What happened?
Sir, we started, I think it was a very long time back, 8 years back. I was supposed to do this film, one film. To put you in context, 18 of my films got shelved before my first film.
Are you 18 films?
18 films. After saying okay, either from the producer or the hero, they used to get shelved, like due to various reasons, like suddenly the producer will not have money, or like some issue. We will not be able to find heroine at that time. So some issue used to come, and almost 18 of my films got shelved. So one day I finally got a producer, and I started auditioning for the main lead. So then somebody has suggested Teja, and he came and he auditioned for the film. At the same time, producer has brought some wealthy rich guy for the audition. So,
Wealthy rich guy who's an actor.
Who wants to become an actor? Who wants to be an actor?
Who's got all the funds to fund himself.
Exactly. So I like Teja. I said, okay, I think he's the right guy for the role, and I want to go with him. But they tried to push that other guy into the film because he can fund the film. But I stood my ground and I said, no, I'll make the film for the story, for what the film is about, not for the money. So they said, we will give you more remuneration if you do it with this guy. So I said, like, no, I want to work with Teja only. That, film got shelved. Film never happened. So, but we stayed friends, and we tried to make a film together with another producer. We jumped gates in the night. We had gone through all the so-called typical drama that happens, the struggle in film industry. We went through together. So meantime, I got an offer with Nani sir, and he got an offer to do another film with Samantha. And we thought, okay, let's just individually try to do something and create a market for myself and work together again. So I promised him, let me get into the boat first, then I can pull you up. So as soon as I proved myself, immediately I said, okay, now I'll come and work with you. So then we came up with Zombie Ready, and it became a big hit. And we hang out a lot of time, and there's nothing that we talk about. It's just cinema all the time. So this film worked, this worked in this film, this didn't work in this film. We always talk about cinema. Even after the mammoth success of Hanu Man also, we just looked at each other. We're like,
Bro code.
Okay. Okay. So is it getting to your head? No. Is it getting to your head? No. Okay. What do we do? Okay, we will continue promoting the film. That's it.
Get back to work.
Yeah. Let's continue with the work. So let's just plan your next film. I said to Teja, because obviously he said, okay, this is too big of a success. So we'll have to process this and see. It is not getting to our heads for sure, but it will get to a lot of other people's heads. But we have to properly plan now. So that's all we talked about. We were very mature about it.
Thank you so much, Prasanth.